All right, hello everybody. All of my Practicum and Portfolio students. I'm going to give you a brief overview on how to build your portfolio using Google Sites. Of course, you can use a different one if you prefer. I'm going to go up here to the address bar and put in sites.google.com. If you're not already logged into a Google site, you can do that at this time. I'm already logged in through my school, which I imagine most of you will be as well. Now you can jump here to blank site where you build everything block by block. I prefer to delete things I don't need rather than trying to make it look pretty myself. So I'm going to navigate to portfolio template. You can scroll through and find that if that's not the first one that pops up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It will build a website for me that I can then edit. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is change my name up here. Type Eric Ling. Beautiful. And you'll notice that a few things. First, you'll see that I've been given a home page, an about page, and a project page. So the home page, I'm going to put my name, my image, and about, I'm going to add my resume. And then my project page, I'm going to have my goal on the primary page. And then in every sub page, I'm going to include an implementation. That's my general recommended build. All right, so I'm going to navigate to home. Maybe you don't like the look of this. You can always change that look over here on the right. You'll have all of your building materials. You have insert pages and themes. So if anytime I want to add something to the web page, I go to insert. If I want to navigate to a different page or build a new page, I go to pages. And then under themes, I can change the theme, right? And I can change the color of that theme. I can change the font style of that theme. And there I'm good to go. You can just click out of it when you're ready. All right, so I'm going to change this right here to just say my name, Eric Ling. And then obviously I need to add an image, so I'm going to click on the image because this is not me, either an image of yourself or an image that represents you. Go to these three vertical dots, and then you can replace your image. I'm going to click upload because it's on the desktop of my computer. There we go. That's me and my wife. Perfect. All right, now I have a bunch of junk on this page I don't need. You can keep some of it if you want to edit it, but to get rid of it, you can either delete it section by section by clicking on it and clicking remove, or you can do the entire section by scrolling over it, excuse me, then on the far left, click delete section on the trash can, right? So I'll do that here, do that a couple more times, and then we'll have a nice clean home page. All right. Almost there. Clean home page, nothing else doing. I'm going to go ahead and click on About to add my resume. I do not need this image here, so I'll just get rid of that. All of these, again, I'm just going to clean up this page a little bit, get rid of all these items here. And then I'm going to click on this top text box and type in my resume. Now you have a full text editor here, so I'm going to make this nice and big, and bold, and blue to match my theme, and I'm going to center it. Beautiful. I'm good to go. Now I want to enter my resume or insert my resume. So on the far right, I'm going to go over here to insert. Now, if you're like me, most of your things live in Google Drive. So I'm going to go to Google Drive right here. And I know my resume is in there, so I'm just going to search for it by clicking on the little search icon, type in resume, hit enter, and boom, here come my resumes. I'm going to pop one in there. Notice it cuts off my resume. This is a scrollable box if you publish a website from here. But I'd rather have them see my entire resume. Other way is fine. I can do that by clicking this bottom dot and just dragging and scrolling it down so that you can see my whole resume. Beautiful. All right. Now I've got a nice clean resume page in my About. I navigate out of this on the far right so I can see everything. So click back and then X. Beautiful. Now I'm going to jump to my project page. I can do that here, or I can do that over on the right by clicking on pages, and I'm good to go. Now I'm just going to call this my portfolio. Actually, I'm going to call it goal and portfolio implementations, something like that. And then down here, I'm going to write out my goal. You've written this a few times now, so I'll just put in goal and then hit enter, and it will smartly change your font size. And I'll say my goal is to become a leader in the ed tech and CS space within my school district, whatever it is. Beautiful. And there's my goal. Now, you could add a bunch of stuff underneath this, but I have a different preference. I'm just going to delete entire sections just like we did before, hovering, and on the left, get rid of and clean up the entire page. Almost there. Beautiful. Get rid of that next project. Don't need that. Don't need that. And now I have a nice clean goal page. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create subpages from this with every one of my implementations. It's the cleanest way to do it that I've found. So I'll go over here to project page. I'll hover over it. And on the far right, you'll see the vertical dots. I'll click those. And I'll click Add Sub Page. Now I'm going to call this subpage implementation number 1. I'll click Done. And you'll notice that you have a nice clean blank page here. Now, I'm going to go over here to Insert. And the first thing I want to do is insert a text box. And we're going to call this implementation number 1 with my brief. Actually, I'll press enter and I'll have my brief description of what that implementation is. You might want to bold it, make it look a little prettier, up to you. Right, now I've got that, I'm good to go. Underneath that, I'm going to start with my artifact. So I'll hit text box again just so I can label it. So I'm going to put artifact. Now your artifact is always your implementation plan you've already submitted. So I'm going to click insert and then drive. You've already built all these, so I'm going to click search and I'm going to find my implementation plan just by searching for it. That's going to be this Google Sheet right here. I'll enter that. Notice there'll be a cutoff box. You want to make this nice and big. So I'm going to make it the width of the website and I'm going to drag it down so that they can see it. There we go. And now it's okay if the whole thing isn't in there. It'll still be scrollable. And then underneath this, so I'll go back, X out of Google Drive. I'm going to insert a text box. So I'm just going to click text box. And this one is going to be my reflection, the 2 things that have to be there for every one of your items. Underneath reflection, notice either I'm clicked on it or I'm clicked out completely. Doing that ensures that it will build the next insert underneath it. All right, so I'm going to go back to insert and drive. And then I'm going to find my reflection template that you have completed for each one of these. It's going to be this one right here. Again, it'll populate for you. You want to right size it so that everything kind of fits. No worries if there's a little bit of scrolling. You just want it big enough so it looks substantial, easy to navigate and read. All right, I'm done with that. So now notice what I have here. I've got a nice clean homepage. My about page has my resume on it. If I click on the project page, it will give my stated goal. If I hover over it, I can navigate to the first implementation. All right, whenever I'm ready to do my second implementation, I just click on pages. I have a couple of options here. I can do the same thing and add another subpage to start from scratch. Or I can click on implementation number 1, hover over it, sorry, and on the vertical dots, click duplicate page. Then I can name that implementation number 2. I can hit done. It'll pull this up and then you just edit it from here. So I change that to 2, I describe it, artifact's still there. I do not want this document here, so I'll just delete it. And then as long as I've selected the one above it, whatever I insert will go underneath it. So I click insert, drive, implementation, and then I pop that implementation in there again, and I right size it so that you can see it, and we're good to go. And I do that same thing down here for reflection. Cool. All right, so you'll just do that over and over again for all 7 of them. Now, when I've finished with that, what I need to do to submit, and this is every time you submit, the first thing you have to do is wherever you see this man with the plus, share with others, you have to click that. This is a really important step. Likely your institution by default restricts within your institution. So when it says publish site, you have to click down here and change that to public. Okay, so you click on the man with the plus for sharing and click public for your website. Okay, go ahead and click done. It will let you know, this is an important note, all of your documents should be shared with me, eling at cvcaroyals.org and eling at kent.edu. It will give you a notification that says, hey, anybody who isn't currently being shared on this will not be able to access these files. That's fine. And click OK. Now the next thing I have to do is click publish. It will give you a website, or you need to put it in. There we go. 3, just make something up. Beautiful. Okay, so I make my web. You might have to put some random things in there. No worries. And then underneath this, I just want to put publish. Now this publish will remind you that anybody that hasn't been shared on those documents won't be able to see them, so make sure you share them with me. And click OK. Now the final thing I have to do to share this is I don't want to take this URL from the address bar. I will not be able to see that if you submit it. Instead, I want to go here to the link icon, right, the paperclip. I'm going to click on that, and that will give me my published link. That's what I copy and then submit that in the Canvas assignment to submit your assignment for that week. Okay. Now, let's say I want to add the next one. I jump here on pages and I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to change. I'm going to duplicate this page. I'm going to put in implementation number 3. Click done. Right. Anytime you make changes, if you share that same link with me, I won't be able to see your new changes that you made. You have to publish again. So go up here to publish. Every time you make a change and you want to submit it to me, you have to hit publish. It'll make sure you want to publish it. So it says, hey, here's what you did. Here's what you changed. Do you want to do that? You just click publish again. And now you're good to go. You click on that same link icon and you share that link. Okay? So a nice simple way to build out your online portfolio. Let me know if you have any questions and best of luck.